All right, we're live. Good morning and welcome to On the Spot 947, where we sit down, we have a little tete-a-tete with some of the biggest and talented names in the arts and equally those who are on their artistic journey in the hopes of influencing and changing the world. A reminder, yes, you can do that. Now, our guest for today has in a way changed our world and hers back in the 80s. 87 to be exact, when she first released her single, I'll Never Let You Go, a hit single. The song put her on the musical map and dominated the Philippine charts for about 2 months by being at number one. Now, subsequently, she released other songs like Kung Alam Mo Lang, Back in Your Arms, and Good Times, Bad Times. She has a new single out that's called My Everyday Valentine, and we will talk to her more about that. But I'm sure our guest will agree that music in any time in our lives, as it certainly has been for her, has been Joanne's saving grace and refuge. Let's all welcome Miss Joanne Lorenzana to the show. Yay!
Hey! Hello, Mellow viewers. Cass, thank you so much. I really
You're
appreciate
most
this
welcome,
opportunity, really.
Joanne.
And everyone there, nako, even just saying Mellow Touch, even just saying 94.7 already brings back a lot of
Brings
memories.
back
So
memories.
everyone,
Although
so much memories.
wala nang touch ngayon. It's just Mellow 947 now. So
Oh,
we also changed
Mellow
that too.
94.7, yes. Okay, Mellow
That's right.
94.7.
So
And
welcome on
still,
at
yeah.
947. So glad that you can join us today, Joanne. I
My
asked you
pleasure.
offline, but this is part of our questions. Is this the first online interview that you've done for the year?
Not the first online radio interview, and I'm
Yeah,
very honored and grateful, really. And Sister Jenny Zagala was the one really always helping. Si Jenny is a friend of ours. We started in Octo Arts when I was with Octo EMI, and then from then on, pati lahat ng mga kasal ng siblings ko, nandyan si Jenny.
and then Jenny. Hi,
Lahat
Jenny.
kami.
Thanks for making this happen. Shout out to Jenny. Jenny's Gala. Thank you.
Hello,
Um,
sis.
I know it's already March, but I still get opinions from people that to start a year right, you must at least try to do something that you have not done before. Do you subscribe to this thought?
Subscribe to.
To the thought na kailangan when you start the year right, alam ko March na ngayon, but pag kailangan when you start the year right, you have to do something that hindi mo pa nagagawa. Do you think that's right for to have that kind of mindset?
Um, in During the pandemic, though, it's a little challenging, but one thing I would say is it's very good to always reconnect with your faith. So that's what happened. And a lot of things I wish we really had the time cast, but it has something to do with the song, but something really amazing, astounding, and miraculous has happened in my life and my husband's life
Mm-hmm.
this year, which has a relation, a direct relationship to the song.
To the song that we're going to be
And
talking about in a
that
while.
completely, even not planning, as set resolutions, the Lord just changed our story. It
Mhm.
changed our story. It even changed the song. So I know that a lot of people who are listening have their own stories. But for us, we were starting with a song because of the shout out to Mr. Jimmy Borja. I was collaborating with him with my song, with our song, My Everyday Valentine. But the Lord changed our story. And that's the one that is really crystal clear. It's reconnecting with your faith and making sure that you're able to share it with the art that was given you.
All right.
That's the one that's really crystal clear.
Speaking of reconnecting, let's reconnect and rewind the clock for a moment and take us back to the 80s when you first broke into the music scene. Have you always wanted to become a singer?
You know, not really. if
Oi,
my
that's
if my
that's a
class if
surprise.
my, no, if my classmates from grade school, I'm a Mary Noller, and then I went to I mahaba kasi ang college ko because I took 2 years of of in college in Maryknoll, and then I transferred to UP, so matagal. But my friends in grade school and high school would know I wasn't really singing. I composed early in life. I was already composing as early as maybe 8 years old. Little songs, here and there. And I remember that I would always think of a classmate who could sing, but I'm not
Mhm.
going to be the first, to do it.
Uh-huh.
So when I started singing, nagulat sila. They really got because talking about our generation, diyan nagsimula yung sing-along system, right? It wasn't even called
Yes.
karaoke yet, right? So
Yes.
I was talking to a pastor yesterday, or yes, I think it was just yesterday, and we were talking. He just told me, Pastor Ruel Tika, hello, and he was talking about karaoke, that it was even being pertained to as karaoke. It's okay to carry. Remember the sing along system? You can
So,
carry
bit-bit
it.
mo lang, yes.
Yes, and then it has a microphone already attached to it. So that was what we had before, 'di ba? So doon ako
Mm.
nag-start kumanta.
And
It's because my
Pilipino ang
mom bought this for
Pilipino
us.
ang nag-invent ng first karaoke machine, 'di
Ay,
ba?
Pilipino nga.
So,
Yes, you're right,
so
you're right, you're right.
bida na naman tayo.
Correct. I know. Tama nga, you're right. Sing-along system was, oo nga pala, no?
Yeah,
Yes.
'di ba? So
Yes.
that's really a testament to the fact na hindi nauubusan ng taong mahilig kumanta and into the arts dito sa Pinas. We have a multitude of talent here. Some people also say that when we aspire to be when we grow up, when we were kids, we're either a result of our own parents' influence or probably our own soul searching. Did your parents influence your love for music or maybe supported your endeavor when you first started out? And I was wondering what kind of music was there in the Lorenzana household? I always love asking this question because whatever love we have for music, I feel it had to come from somewhere, or at least
I,
a spark must have been ignited, and that spark is best lit at home.
at home. Now, in our household, my grandmother actually was already she was the first in entertainment.
Mm.
So my grandmother's name is Nati Bernardo. Yan yung mga LVN Pictures, Premier Productions,
Ah,
Sampaguita. She
yes.
was a singer, actress, and she's now in the heavenlies. So she's the first in her generation. Lagi ang kanta ng kanta si Lola Nati. And then, hi, mommy. I texted my mommy, hi, mom, and Tita Gloria. They're watching, and some of my cousins. So, of course, she knows the entire story kasi sila yung mga anak. And we had that influence of singing and acting and all the arts, the dramatic arts, the theatrical arts from my grandmother. But my sister Beth, hello, Beth Lorenzana Fonashare. Pinlag ko pa. And my brother-in-law is Bambi Fonashare of Odyssey. So he was in Odyssey before, diba? So my influence very young was jazz, actually jazz and pop. Of course, kasi sa radio, diba, we always hear that. But definitely, I started listening to jazz at age, yun din, while I was in grade school also. And that sort of really helped me as an artist begin with my roots.
Mhm.
Randy Crawford, listening to Randy Crawford, of
Yes,
course,
Randy
Patty
Crawford.
Austin,
Yeah.
Angela Bofield, tapos syempre,
Yan.
di ba, yan ang,
True.
tonight
Yeah,
I
yeah.
give in to this feeling. Di ba yung mga ganyan? So syempre, yan, you're always listening. Oh my gosh. And we have a bevy of wonderful music, like you were saying earlier, 70s and 80s. So that was really my influence. And when I started, it was actually, ano to, yung mga cousins ko kasi are all over the place also in terms of different avenues of art. My cousins, naku, kung nakikinig sila, Joey and Lulu Avellana, they're the ones who brought me to my first mentor, my first manager, is Nonong Pedero.
Ah,
And
yes, Nonong
who
Pedero.
who composed my first hit song, I'll Never Let You Go. I started doing jingles for him. Yun ang kasayahan ko before, like just listening to, parang, you're, how old, di ba, you're in your teens, tapos naririnig mo yung boses mo as part of a jingle. My gosh, it's really so fun. You're telling your classmates, uy, ako kumanta niyan. Oh, yung jingle na. Just like that. So I wasn't really expecting eventually that I would be entering the industry, but I
Mhm.
guess the Lord and fate had it already planned. But that was my roots, really jazz. All the pop jazz, yung mga ganyan. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was where it kind of started for
Right.
me.
And that's the best merge of two genres that you're able to immerse yourself in earlier on. So that speaks, so much for your musicality. Apart from having singles or hit singles to your name, and also some of our listeners may remember this, or maybe even hearing this about you for the first time, you also opened for international artists back in the day. like Gloria Stefan, Menudo, yes, the same band where Robbie
Yes.
Rosa, Charlie Masso, and Ricky Martin came from, and also the UK jazz band Shack Attack.
Oh
Um,
my gosh,
what,
yes, of
what
course.
was
Hello, my
that?
sister, of course.
What was that like opening for these artists?
Oh, you can imagine, right? You
I,
can
I, I
imagine.
I can imagine,
Now,
but hindi pa rin sa'yo manggaling eh.
oh my gosh. Well, my sister, kaya very connected kami ng sister ko. After Nonong Pidero, my sister eventually managed me. And if you remember, also in the mid-80s, a lot of sister or sibling acts were happening. Martin Rivera being managed by his siblings, di ba? And
Yeah,
then you would have Joey Albert being managed by her sister Marisa Albert. May mga ganyan, Gary
yeah,
Valenciano, Gina
yeah, yeah.
Valenciano, and then of course, Angeli as wife. It's either siblings or family. So my sister eventually became my manager for actually for 8 years after Nonong.
Mm.
So she was actually a line producer. So she was doing already line production in shows, no? And some of the shows were actually foreign acts. So my manager then si Nonong was already he already composed I'll Never Let You Go. So it was him who suggested na why don't you let your sister also, be a part of one of the shows. I was ako I'm such a I was really a reluctant artist. And some of my colleagues in the industry would know na kasama ko yan yung dumadating pa rin yung hiya, dumadating pa rin yung stage fright. Alam mo, my early years talaga kasama pa rin yan. But since the opportunity was there already, so, actually it was Jam, Morales, and myself who front acted for Shakata. Ako
Oh my
yung parang
goodness, John
dalawa
Morales.
kaming guest. Ako yung una. Parang akong front act na front act. Kasi I was the first artist before Jam Morales, before Shakata. But yes, it was really nerve-wracking and very exciting. And then
Nerve-wracking.
some of the ushers and usherettes, mga kaibigan namin. So that really helped that I knew that there are some people there already. So it really
Nako,
helped a lot.
sana naman you still had photos with the artist that you opened for.
No,
May
I
copy
don't
ka ba?
have.
Wala na, oh,
I
sayang.
only have one. At ako sana pala napag-usapan natin. I only have one. The one where we were members of the Pepsi New Generation and
Yes, yes.
the
That
girls
was
kasi
I'm
na.
gonna ask about that.
You were
There
gonna
were
ask the
12,
next one.
there
Okay.
were 12 of you, upcoming singers,
Yes.
12 of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Sige,
Gino
ipagdikit na natin yung dalawang
Padilla,
tanong ngayon.
Hino,
Yes.
di ba? John
Right, right, right.
Robinson, James Harner, Raymond
Yes.
Lochenko, I don't Jaime Blanche.
Yes,
I'm
Jaime
trying to
Blanch.
look at our photo tas para maalala ko. And then of course, Paula Luz, God bless her heart, she's already
Yes,
there. And then we have Menchu Lochenko, we have
yes.
Sally Santiago, who's now a wonderful painter. My God, she's a wonderful
Wow.
artist. Oh gosh,
Sa
Timmy Cruz
Timothy,
also.
kailangan yung pantalon mo puti, di ba?
Yes. Oh my God! Naalala mo pa yung itsura. Yes. Yes. Of that Pepsi photo.
Yeah.
So the girls, we were contracted by Octo Arts. I wasn't with Octo Arts yet, so it's imagine how fate also played eventually. But they got all the Pepsi girls to be the front act for Menudo. I have one photo, um, all of us girls. Tapos si Lea Salonga would also be part. She was also with Pepsi, but of course
Yes,
as a
yes.
solo artist. So kaming lima, and then with Ricky Martin, I wish I have the photo somewhere. I kept that. I don't have anymore a photo with Menudo. My sister Beth might have a photo
Yan. Yan,
of
yan ang
that.
dapat ibida sa social media in this day and age.
I know.
Diba?
Okay, lilitaw yan. Makikita
For
natin.
sure, for sure. Pero with regards to the first songs, I'll Never Let You Go, mas nauna ba yun before the Pepsi o halos sabayan lang?
I'll never I started promoting I'll Never Let You Go before Pepsi.
Before
Because
Pepsi.
even since I was already with Nonong, he was already making me go do the rounds even before I signed up with Vicor. And then we had an audition with Vicor, and then I got picked up as an artist noon, single muna. So nilabas na nila ang I'll Never Let You Go.
Yeah.
And then I did Shack Attack, and then my sister was approached already by Pepsi. So that's when I joined them. It really happened so quickly.
Ano? It's just like the domino pieces fell into
Yes.
place one after the other.
One after the other.
diba?
So
That
grateful, so grateful.
that is so nice when things like that happen to you as an artist, and also to anyone
To
who
anyone, yes.
would want to get into the arts. Your second single after this was "Kung Alam Mo Lang," that was composed by Doji Simon.
You was my second, my
Oh, you,
next single was you. She's listening right now. Hello,
uh,
Gigi Mordeno, the composer of you. I just messaged her. So, Gigi, I'm going to be on 94.7. So, I don't know if you remember the song. You don't give me answers for a while. You lied. I'd rather keep the love and keep it burning deep inside. So that's her song. You. That was my
uh,
second single.
we will always remember that voice. There's
Ah,
some friends joining us online. Pat Langit Dison, who's watching from Cali. Hello, Pat.
oh, hello.
Um,
Hi.
Jennifer, siyempre si Jenny,
Yes.
nag-comment na rin. Congrats daw, sabi ni Jenny. Arlene Mordeno is
Yes.
watching from Sacramento, California.
She's the
And,
composer of you. Hi, Gigi. She's
oh,
Arlene Gigi Mordeno. Hello. Thank you for that. She gave me my second hit song. Thank you so much,
she
Gigi.
says, looking good.
Thank you,
Um,
sis. Oh, sister talaga kita.
good morning as well to Ronnie Lee.
My
And
cousin.
also,
Hello.
Tonette Lorenzana Lee
Yes. My cousins.
also says,
Hi.
may
Siyempre,
emoji siya ng
pinorward
heart.
ko yun sa mga KKK, kaibigan, kamag-anak, kakilala, katrabaho.
Yes, the clan, in short.
Clan.
Dada Lorenzana Santiago, three
Hi,
hearts.
Cuz.
Yeah.
Hello. And
Uh,
like you were saying, the third is already Kung Alam Mo Lang, the third
yes, alam mo lang.
single. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's composed naman by Doji Simon. Oh, I wasn't able to invite Doji. I hope you saw it on my music page. So he was the one naman who composed Kung Alam Mo Lang. And that also, I mean, it's really a blessing because you'd have your first song and you're very grateful it becomes a hit. Thank you to all the audience and the listeners. You get another song, you, and then it becomes a hit again. I mean, really, the audience is just like, just really supportive. And then you have Kung Alam Mo Lang, and then it also becomes a part of a movie. So that just string of wonderful songs. I'm just really blessed and grateful to all the composers and of course to my first company, Vicor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very, very blessed.
Nakakamiss ang Vicor. Nakakamiss ang Vicor. Uh,
Ang dami nagsimula sa Vicor.
yeah.
Halos lahat ata nagsimula in Vicor. So,
Right. Martin Rivera started with Vicor. No, I remember that.
ha?
Martin Rivera, I
Si
remember he started
Martin.
with Vicor din
Um,
eh. Yeah.
Martin, Jaja, Sharon. Iniisip ko naman yung Vicor poster. Naalala ko yung faces. Randy Santiago, Regine, I think Neo Colors.
Colors. Yeah, parang start
Yeah.
from
There, I think side 8. Ako, I hope I'm not mistaken. But it's from a biker, Louis
right,
Herrera,
right.
of course.
Our megastar Sharon Cuneta also was part of
Sharon
the Vicor
Cuneta, yes.
family.
Kitty Cruz
Diba?
was biker also.
Yeah.
Um,
Ang dami talaga. I mean, pag sinabi mong, when you say Vicor back in the day, who's who is really with the Vicor family.
yeah.
And for those who are listening, if in case, you guys have the LPs of these artists, yeah, that'll be great to share it with us on social media. We might probably do something like that. Sige nga, magbidahan tayo ng plaka. One of these days, magbidahan tayo ng plaka.
That's
I
nice.
still
That's a nice idea. Sasali
Yeah.
kami.
Yeah. I still have Martin Rivera's first album. It's called Take One. That is a treasure for me. Um,
Wait, is that before you're on the right track? That's
that's
the
way
first, no?
before
Oh
the
my
very the
God.
very first.
Yes, yes,
Ano
yes.
nun is nakasandal siya, naka-blue hoodie siya,
Uh-huh.
nakasandal siya sa control board sa mixing board ng studios, nakatingin siya ng ganyan. So yes, that's how much of a fan I am of Martin, and Martin was really the
Also
first.
a fan
Oh, diba?
also.
Lahat tayo, we were all
Can I
fans.
give you a story, a Martin and Pop story?
Sige,
One
sige,
of
sige.
before Ayan, dito matutuwa ka. Before I got picked up by Vicor,
Hmm.
I think I got picked yeah, I got picked up na ata or very very new and I'm not yet even singing it, no. I mean singing with Vicor and promoting I'll Never Let You. I just got signed up. Si Nonong booked me for for Penthouse. Oh my God,
Ah,
siyempre parang
yes.
I'm gonna meet Martin and Pops. I'm not kidding. Nag-interview ko agad si Martin Rivera, and of course, who's not a fan of Martin, right? And Martin and Pops.
Right.
I'm not kidding. One question, one answer. So, syempre, yan na, nasa studio ka na. So, first, you're already, my God, I'm in the studio, I'm in Penthouse Live, and you're thinking, what am I going to do? What am I doing here? Parang ganon. And then, okay, and ang kanta ko pa noon, I wasn't promoting I'll Never Let You Go. I sang Soft Melody. May mga songs, I forgot to say,
John,
Soft
John, John, John
Melody.
Kaiser Neptune.
Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. So yun ang kinanta ko. And after that was right away, I just heard Director Fritz Infante saying that, okay, then Joanne and Martin, you're going to interview Joanne. Nakaupo ako before thing sa commercial. And I'm just there and I'm looking at Martin. And Martin's looking at his cue cards. Nakasmile lang ako. Talagang, yeah. And then, okay, Joanna, yeah, I said, and this is my second interview, TV interview. Talagang wala akong, I didn't know what to say. But
And
of
everything
course,
was live lahat. So, pagka nagkamali ka with your info, nadapa ka, natisod ka, live lahat yan.
nangyari na rin yun, Cass. Hindi sa
Oh, no.
Penthouse. Discorama. Do you still
Oh
remember
my God,
Discorama?
Desperada with Bobby Ledesma
Yes, and Apo Hiking
and Apo
Society.
Hiking. Yes, yes, yes.
Nangyari yun. Like you're
Ganda.
saying live, nagingilabot ako. My first, I think Discorama was my first TV
TV
appearance.
guessing?
And then you're singing cover songs. Wala ka pa naman single, di ba? Alam mo ba? I mean, syempre, you're in your teens, you're so young. And then, I gave them my real pa noon, real, hindi pa
Yes,
CD. Like,
real.
di ba? Real talaga. Tapos, you tell them the cut. So, I'm still just getting to learn the lingo. I gave the wrong cut, but I memorized the wrong song. Alam mo na, si Mr. Bobby Ledesma got upset. And then
And
so the Apo had to like cover and then they had to like go on Gap. And then I started crying. Kasi, I'm sorry, sir. Sabi ko, I gave the wrong cut. And then yung Apo, oh my God, they're so wonderful. Those guys are so caring. And oh, it's okay. So, alam nila, because you're new, di ba? It's okay, it's okay. And then I after the Gap, it's the right song already. So, these are treasured memories because every artist has to experience that. We have to all experience,
indeed, indeed.
everything.
Probably
Everything.
Apple may experience din sila when they were starting out na ganyan. So they know how it felt like, how nerve-wracking it was to be on live TV and computers na ganyan. No?
That's
So
true. They know that.
I'm not surprised also that kung bakit merong mga directors din for TV, medyo mabilis magalit kasi yung tension eh.
Yes, you're right.
Yung
You're right. You're right.
the need to get everything right, that every peg has to be put in its place.
Yes,
Hindi
yes,
po
yes.
pwedeng merong magkamali. Kasi pag nagkamali, it will look bad.
Right. I didn't even think about that. Kasi you're no, no, no. I mean, you're right. Kasi di ba, even like when you see ASAP or that's true. Kasi they're gonna tell you what gap you are. They're gonna tell you what and then they're just going. It's very fast. You're right. So if there's a mistake, imagine that it's a mistake. You're about to sing a song, and then my face talaga sa camera. I didn't know the song. I didn't memorize it, so I'm looking like this. I'm going like that, and I'm like. So he knew right away,
You
okay,
knew that it was the wrong song.
it's a wrong song. So pasok na yung Apo. Oh, and then, they started talking and all that while they're saying that, okay, this is the wrong song. No, yes. So wonderful. It's all good. Like we say now, it's all good.
It's all good. I am loving this talk, and I'm sure this is a trip down memory lane for you, for me, and for our listeners. And it's perfect because today is Wednesday, and here at Mellow, we delve back into the 80s, 90s, and a touch of 70s. We call this Mellow Midweek Special. So perfect talaga ang guesting mo that falls in today. But let's forward a bit this time. After 5 albums to your credit, which includes your debut album, a greatest hits collection. You're back with a new song that's called My Everyday Valentine. Yes, we know that Valentine's is over and it will not come again next year, but I sincerely and strongly believe that if you have love and if you cultivate love in your life, it does not have to be a once in a year celebration. Please tell me you believe in that as well.
That's exactly what the song is about. Ito na yung tissue ko ha. Pasensya na ho kayo.
And
Diba? I
box.
told Cass already just in case. Di ba talaga may tissue box? I wrote this song for my husband. Okay, I'm gonna try not to share like the whole because it's a really long story. But I wrote this for my husband 2016. I reached out to Jimmy Borja to help me with the melody.
Mm-hmm.
And then we reached out. I reached out to Jimmy Antiporda was the one who arranged the song, and I hope he's watching kasi nag-message din ako sa kanya. So this wonderful artist helped me out really with the song. I wrote this for my husband. And remember, you were asking me earlier, what is the thing, what one thing or what things do you think of when you're starting in the year? One of the
Mm-hmm.
things I wanted to reconnect with was my art, with my music. And that was the encouragement of Jimmy Borja. Because I wasn't even thinking of, working on the song yet. And he said, there's still time for Valentine's. Why don't we do the song?
Yeah.
So, ganon, kaya nabuo siya. But do you know that I tracked it on the 22nd, and then um something happened to my husband the following day. I tracked it on the 21st. The 22nd, we were listening to the rough mix of the song because we
Mm-hmm.
were trying to see if we can release it for Valentine's.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to my husband. He met an accident, in sa
Okay.
may beach in Pacifica. And alam mo yun, mga taga California. And thank God that everything, worked out. My cousins helped us. He was brought to the hospital now by the paramedics. But February, we thought that everything was going to be okay. He got into surgery
Mm-hmm.
Friday. That was, I think, January 29th. Do you know,
Okay.
3 days after, the critical period after surgery is the first 72 hours. On February 1st, here in our home, Kaz,
Mm-hmm.
uh, something like really terrible happened that morning,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in the middle of preparing to release the song already. Make a long story short, it's hard. It's a little hard. My friends and my family know this, but anyway, um,
That's okay.
my it's a little hard. But anyway, this is why the song is so special,
Mm-hmm.
because I had to do CPR on my husband. Just to
Oh,
try to make the long story short,
right, right.
um, it was the complication of the surgery,
With the
and
surgery.
so I had to do that, and I really thank the Lord because He really guided me in when that happened. And he went back to the hospital. He was brought by the paramedics, and 3 days later, he had to stay in the hospital for 3 days. And that just really changed our story. That's why when you ask me that, how did it, what is one of the things that are really special this year? This is special because not only did the Lord, really establish His work in our lives, but even in this song, He changed the whole meaning. I started the song cast just with the title, My Everyday Valentine. It just became so crystal clear. And I said, since I migrated here in 2005, my whole world has changed. I didn't even do so much of my music. My life was with my family,
Mm-hmm.
who's my husband, my in-laws, and my family here, my cousins here. And then, of course, the friends that the Lord has given me here, my care group, my Bible study group. But music, your art is always a part of you, right? And so when I wrote this, thinking this is back in 2016, not knowing that 2021 that it was going to mean something, and that all I wanted was to have this new song, this collaboration song with Jamie. But he changed our story. And that's why when I share about the song, I could not help share about the miracle that the Lord has given me, is because this, yes, it's a personal song, and I sing it to my husband, and it's called My Everyday Valentine. But all of you, you have all your loved ones. So my advice is, if you have the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
if there is a song, doesn't necessarily have to be my song. If there's a song that you can sing to your spouse, to your loved one, to your, not necessarily even yung mahal mo lang na, your lover, your husband, your spouse, your partner, but even family, it's very important. So that is why it has changed my story, because it's like, when you think about love, it should be every day. Your
Yeah.
Valentine should be expressed every day. So that's
I
what
so agree.
the song is about. I didn't want to make it a little
I
dramatic,
so
but it's
agree.
really
I'm
a personal story.
right, right. And personal stories like that, yun naman talaga ang tatatak sa isip, tatatak sa damdamin. Those are the ones that will make an impact and will leave a lasting impression on anyone who gets to listen to your story and also to your song. And I take it that that is what you would like listeners to take away from your song after listening to it. No, that
Yes.
Valentine's is not supposed to be celebrated in just one day,
Yes.
and sad to say, sometimes we fall prey to the commercialism
All
of
of us, yes.
Valentine's, di ba? We lahat tayo guilty
Lahat
na parang,
tayo
oh, we
guilty.
have to buy flowers, we have to buy chocolates, we have to book for dinner. But now, of course, because of the pandemic, things are so much different. But if you celebrate Valentine's every day,
Yes.
Valentine's will not just be a day to celebrate, but it becomes also a day to remind yourself that you do this every day, that
Yes.
you celebrate love every day,
Yes.
365 days a year.
Yes.
Yun yun.
Really
Walang,
amazing. Amen. It was created that way. It was created that way for us to love. We were created to love. So, pasensya ka na, I'm going to quote there's a Bible verse. I think it's First John 4:19. He we love because he first loved us. That's his gift. Eh. And then, di ba, there's I'm sure you're familiar with it. We hear it around Valentine's also. Yung love is patient, love is kind, it's not
yeah, yeah, yeah.
self-seeking, it's never envious. I mean, that's the way it was created for all of us to experience it. So it shouldn't be only confined to one season. And I'm born
Mhm.
on Valentine's Day. I mean, I know
Wow, Valentine's baby ka pala.
a
Happy
Valentine
birthday,
baby.
happy Valentine's. Nako.
So,
So,
parang it's also my birthday, but you want to be, I mean, knowing how special it is, it's like
mhm.
you want to share that with other people that, to remind them that exactly we have to be able to express that. And we always draw, God is the example for that. God is the example for love. We draw from that so that we can carry on and be able to do it. It's easier said than done. I mean, we can be very honest now. We get into a lot of challenges. We get into a lot of obstacles, right, in our lives. But when we put love first, it's almost like you have to let him be ahead of you. Because
Yeah,
we're so human. Eh. I mean, we're so faulty. We're so really imperfect. So when you let it go ahead of you, then it's like it's easier to follow by the lead. You follow his lead. You follow the lead of other people. You have a lot of examples in your life, and then you can pay that forward.
yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
think that's the whole. Not, I mean, when I say it now, because the Lord has changed our story. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's really just the story namin ni Brant, my husband Brant. Hello, Han, Brant Blower. Pinlove pati asawa ko. But he's listening in the other room. Eh. So the song is actually going through memory lane, like how we met, the first day that we met. So everybody has a story in their love lives, di ba?
Wait, how did you guys meet? Okay, gusto kong, I want to know the...
Oh my gosh. Ay, parang isang oras pa atang kailangan natin. Music also bound us together because I was active. I was mentioning to you before we went on air. I was launched in 86, but I started singing already. I was with Donald Pedero in 1985. So
Mhm.
1985 to year 2000 were my active years in the industry. So and even when I was in the industry, our Daddy Joe, who's in heaven already, um, he was my parents kasi, Mommy Toots, pasensya ka na, pinaplug ko ata lahat ng pamilya ko. Hi, Mom, because I know you're watching also, Mommy Toots. So, they're corporate people. They started working very early in their lives. So, my father, si Daddy Joe, was saying that it's okay for you to be in the industry, make sure that you finish your school. And
Mhm.
then after you finish school, teka, ano, may echo ata ng konti. Okay, after you finish school, make sure that you're also working. So I
Mhm.
always had a corporate existence in my life, while I was an artist. My first job that was in UP. I taught there, and then after that, I went to sa corporate circuit already. So that was my life, and then I got into the hotel and restaurant industry. I worked with two hotels, with Dusit Hotel Nico, which is now Dusit Tani Hotel, and I worked with
Yeah.
Hyatt Regency Manila. And then in between, I would still work with other hotels and restaurants. So since you're doing your singing, you're very very active in singing, and then you're very active also in the, in the corporate world, I kind of got a little burnt out ako ng
Pinagsabay mo kasi, parang gano'n.
kasi,
That's why.
yes.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, so it was a little and something will suffer, and I think my music was suffering a little bit, and it was starting to feel more like a job. Kasi imagine you're working Monday to Friday, di ba? Tapos and then you have your music. So I had to really make a tough decision. I had a concert, and I almost didn't finish the concert kasi talagang my body, I think my system was sort of complaining a little bit. So I remember backstage, I was talking to my manager, and we had a guest, and we asked our guests to sing 2 more songs so that I could just end. It was also Valentine's. It was also Valentine's yung concert. And then kasama namin yung um Nonoy, yung the band, the ballroom band, Nonoy. Oh my gosh, I'm having my pre-senior moment, but it's a ballroom band. Nonoy,
Okay.
anyway, I forgot his last name. Pasensya na po kayo. But so it was going to dapat after my concert, I would sing Last Dance, and then
Mm.
we would go to the ballroom dancing. We will have one song together tapos mag-ballroom dancing.
Ah,
Alam mo naman yung mga Valentine shows, 'di ba? Minsan magkakasama na lahat. May show na, may dinner na, may ballroom
oo.
na.
Yes, may ballroom pa, tama. All in one, package
All
na
in one
package.
yung package. So parang magbabayad rin naman sila, lahat na so alam mo yung the audience, mas magaganda pa yung gown nila sa'kin. Kasi they were ready to dance na. So imagine backstage, my guest was Dale, I forgot naman.
Nonoy
Dale,
Lopez,
pasensya ka na.
ayan. Nonoy
Huh?
Lopez,
Nonoy Lopez, yes, did
coming from
somebody
Popot
suggest it?
Lorenzana. Thank you, Popot.
Yes, yes, Popot, my God. At pasensya ka na, mas bata pa ako kay Popot. Ako yung nagkakaroon ng pre-senior moment. Nonoy Lopez Band was the band. And they were very sweet because we had to cut, I think, 3 songs. So my guest, si Del, um, had to sing additional 2 songs, and then I had to cut out my ano, and then I still had to perform with a ballroom band kasi nga magsasayaw pa kami. So I was backstage. I thought I was going to pass out already in the concert. And
Oh,
the F&B director was like, "Can you make it?" I said, if I since it's last dance, I can ask the public to start, 'di ba?
yes.
The crowd to start dancing na. So when I sing the next song after that, they're already all dancing, and my guest was like so really wonderful. But after that, I had to make a decision. So I decided to stop. Dapat temporary lang yung stop ko. 2000 nangyari. Wow, it took another 10 years or another 5 years before I had the show kasi I was working with Hyatt. So,
Yeah.
2000 yun, 2005 yung next show ko because I was a PR manager of Hyatt. So, yung GM ko binigyan ako ng show. Sabi niya, before you leave, why don't you do a show here? Yeah, okay, so nagkaroon ako ng show. But meeting my husband was when I decided to go to the States the following year.
Mm.
So 2001, I stayed here in the US for 1 year. And I was still doing shows. Alam mo, never say never eh. Never say you're fully retired. Pagdating ko ng States, eto na yung mga concerts din. So I started
Meron,
saying yes
meron
also.
pa rin. Yeah.
Oh, meron pa rin. Siyempre, very fresh pa rin na, you're still active the year before. And one of the concerts, um, my cousin was helping me out, with choosing guests. His suggestion was to get an American musician. So
Mm-hmm.
parang, you're going to have we even the one I had one concert in one of the restaurant lounges also in Daly City naman in California. Nagpa-contest sila ng karaoke for 6 weeks. Ang cute kasi the winner talaga at saka this is alam mo na international, 'di ba? Nasa California to. So I would be
Yeah.
there every week, and you have different nationalities. Talaga nagko-compete talaga karaoke is a big thing already. But the winner, alam mo ang winner Pilipino pa rin. So he guessed, 'di ba, no? So he guested in my show, and then we also decided to have a music no an American musician. That's when I met my husband because I conducted interviews. Meron pang Virgin Records before. So
Yes, yes.
Virgin
Meron pa.
Records, 'di ba meron pa?
Meron pa
Nakaka-Virgin.
yun.
'Di ba ngayon Virgin ano na siya?
Dati.
Virgin Atlantic na siya, meron na siyang
Ah,
plane, 'di ba?
yes.
So,
Maya pala siya, may eroplano na siya eh.
meron na ano na siya, hindi na niya kailangan ng ano, 'di ba, ng Virgin Records. So, ano, so I met my I interviewed, some of the I was trying to look for an American guitarist. So, my husband was one of them. And at saka yung story namin part online yan kasi ang first our correspondence was online and then we met already there, no? So I met all of them. When I met my husband, naku, makikinig dapat ata Tagalogin ko. Hindi kasi po ako artist. Mamaya na ko na ita-translate ko na lang. So, parang everyone was, like dressed up. Pati ako, I was also dressed up as an artist kasi mag-i-interview ako. But he was just like, he was kind of late. And this is part of the song, yung first stanza ng song. I look at you, then no. Actually, the third stanza when I said there in the song, I see that smile. That took me to that special place where I don't know. I'm sorry, second pala ba yan? I see your face exactly at the time you said hello to me from far away that lovely day. You know why? Because he was on the escalator ng Virgin Records sa San Francisco paakyat. Nakita
Mhm.
ko na siya. And then sabi ko kasi siya yung third na i-interview ko and he wasn't there yet. And he was already, about to ascend, no? Tapos kasi mabait yung eyes ng husband ko, eh, yun ang una kong nakita, eh. So I saw him already, then he even had his sheet, yung, presentation sheet, yung resume niya. And then he said he waved at me. So that's part of the song because I saw him from far away. Ay,
Yeah.
naiyak ako. So and then so it, but I saw,
Kinikilig ka na ha.
Kinig hello to me and he said, "Hello," kasi yung hello, I'm Brand. And so ko, yeah, I'm Joanne. So hello to me from far away that lovely day. So that part of the verse, that second verse was
Comes
an
from that
ode,
first meeting, yeah.
the first meeting. Kaya nga yung song I was saying that parang it would bring back a lot of people to the very first time that they met. Kasi ang dami nagkilala, maybe on transportation. Our parents met sa office. Marami nga, yung mga office romances, di ba? Yung iba sa school, ang dami, blind date. I mean, everybody has a story. So yan yung story namin. That we met there. And you know what? He didn't actually guest sa show ko. He didn't guest on my show. But love bloomed. Yun yung nangyari. He didn't guess he was in my show. He watched the show, of course, with some friends also. But love bloomed from there.
From
But I
there.
even had to return to the Philippines. In fact, when I returned to Philippines in 2002, that was around October, I thought, naku, ano kaya mangyayari? Nababalik na ako ng Pilipinas. But he followed Christmas to meet my entire family. And then you know what? It was a long distance relationship. Every 6 months, he would be visiting the Philippines. And then I only visited once when we got engaged already. And then he took me already after again a Valentine show in Hyatt, which was given by my GM, Mr. Farid Shuker. I don't know if you're watching, but our GM of in at the Hyatt. And then after the show, that's when I migrated already. Ako, pasensya ka na, Kas, madaldal kasi ako. Kulang yung 20 minutes eh.
Kulang isang oras, but it's an hour that's well spent. We still have some people joining us this morning. Tonette Lorenzana again. Hello, good morning. Agnes Lorenzana La Pena says,
Ano lang sana yung mga pinsan ko, hi.
Yes, Pinster, it's my heart. Hi, cousin from Tonette. May Dulce.
Oh,
Says,
hi sis, from Vallejo, my neighbor. There's a story. Hi May, I have to share a story. So because of what happened to us recently, right? One of the best friends of my husband, Kim Marsole, was the one who helped. He and the brother of May Dulce, Angelo de los Reyes, he passed away already 2014. I had
Okay.
pictorials with him, and he was involved in my last album together with my husband's one of my husband's best friends, Tim Marsole. They were the ones who took the pictorials for that album for Between Seasons. And since we couldn't do a pictorial for my everyday Valentine, I had to draw from pictures that were not yet used. It was
Aha.
it was from one of the pictorials by Angelo de los Reyes, who's the brother of May Dulce. So it's very special. Ang daming special talaga na nangyari sa song na to. So even the pictures there are, of course, kasi that was sa 2014 pa. Syempre, ginupit ko yung hair ko para kamukha ko yung song. Kamukha ko yung front ng single. Yung bangs pa, di
Para,
ba?
para magtugma.
Oo, para magtugma. Sabi ko, naku, kailangan kong ano, palitan yung hairstyle ko para naman it will complement the ano, the... So, I mean, that's why May. Hi, May, and to your family also. They figured also in the song. Ang
Uh,
daming sweet,
Thea
sweet things.
Estrellado also says hi. Dada Lorenzana says, hi, cuz, Joanne, so proud of you.
Aw.
Agnes says, Lorenzanas are proud of you. Willie Lorenzana also gives his love.
Hi, cousins.
Um,
Thank you for tuning in.
Ngayon ko na nakikita yung may ibang comments. Jennifer says, Dinah or Wea ang side A. Hindi, you are pala ang side A.
Hi.
Uh,
Pasensya na po, Vi ko.
Yun.
Sabi ko po, Wea and Dinah.
Angela
Magkakasama po tayo sa
Adistapa,
industry.
she's getting teary-eyed when you're recounting the experiences and how the song came about. Gregory Lorenzana says, hi, Tita Joanne.
Oh, yes. Hi, Gucci. Kasama yan sa show ko noong 2002. He had a boy band. Oh, buti na alala niya. So of course, he was still in the US. And so he had a boy band. He was also a guest in that show of mine where I met, no, before I met my husband. Kasi nga, my husband was supposed to play nga, I was asking him to do a Beatles song and Carpenters medley. Alam mo naman, syempre, Carpenters kasama sa mga ano natin, di ba? Sa mga hit
Kasama sa
band,
repertoire.
mga repertoire. So, and then hindi, I also had one cousin, nakakatawa, Bobby Serrano. I was even telling Bobby na, Bobby, do you play the guitar? Hindi, I'm only playing at home. No, papi-play mo sa concert mo. So, naging -1 yung buong show.
And
Except for Gucci's band, yes. Oh,
Teka, balik tayo sa
hindi
questions
pwede, hindi
natin.
pwede.
One question I also like asking a musical guest, John, is especially for those who write about their own experiences. Ano na una for you? Music or the lyrics?
It's pretty magical. Sometimes it's just a title. Like my everyday Valentine started with a title. I just
Ah,
parang hindi kasi parang ang sweet ng title. Pasensya na po no, pero pumasok kasi binigay ni Lord. So parang sabi ko, ang ganda ng title, My Everyday Valentine. And then I had to pray and said, Lord, please help me form the lyrics. There are some magical moments where all of a sudden, I'm sure all the songwriters out there, or you as a songwriter would know it also. Di ba, minsan parang it's just there and you have to record it. I'm not kidding. I use my phone to record.
yes. Or
Di
else
ba?
what? Or else the gist of the whole song goes away. You'll forget it and say that you'll come back. I wrote a song about my dad when I was driving the car. So, ang hirap,
Ako,
ang hirap nun, ang
had
hirap
to
nun.
pull over.
Oo, I had to buti lang dalawa yung phone ko. So I had to type the lyrics and then record sa kabila. But buti naman nabuo.
Sabi ko, akala ko pa na sa EDSA ka pa, no? My gosh,
Multitasking
paano ko
eh.
magpo-pull over nito? But there are
Oo,
times,
buti
buti
lang
na
hindi.
lang, we think, para tayo nag-plug, no? Parang we're very grateful for our cell phones because now we can
For
record.
technology, di ba?
Just for
Yeah.
technology. Otherwise, how?
Yeah, and true. And yun nga,
How to
it's either
disappear?
you become a slave to technology or make technology work for you. And I'm sure a lot of singer-songwriters have also they can have their own stories to recount on how they made technology work
How they made technology. And
for
I,
them.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if like me. I don't know if you play an instrument. You play guitar or piano.
I wish I did. In my head, I did, pero no.
You're not
So,
alone. I
ay,
mean,
yes, hindi ako isa.
I meron ako isa-suggest. No? It sounds like a plug, but I really wanted to learn the piano. There is a website called pianoin21days.com. Kasi sabi ko,
Okay.
para naman at least I would know some chords. So at least now, I can play some chords already. So at least, when I go to the piano, okay, it's a key of C. I just really wanted that I
Uh-huh.
will not forget kahit very basic, talagang basic, like, tran, 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 para lang, alam ko yung chords, hindi mawawala yung melody. But I'm not like, others are just so gifted. My niece is probably watching now in Canada. Of course, kasi my brother-in-law, Bambi, my sister, Beth Lorenzana, pa na siya, pina-plug yung pamilya ko, no? My pamangkins, Kylie and Christian. Kylie is so gifted. She's a next generation artist also now in our line. And she grew up really with music. Alam mo yung mga prodigy talaga when they go when they learn an instrument, it just happens. And I'm even Jimmy Borja. I talk to Jimmy quite a lot. He learned the guitar, he learned the piano. Natutuwa ako dun sa mga, di ba, they are really gifted na when they try to learn an instrument, they just learn it.
Yeah.
I'm not in that league eh. I'm not in the league. Ngayon yung piano, nandyan yung piano sa tabi ko. It's like, I have to go back to my lesson. I mean, hindi naman siguro. Maybe like, just have to at least play the chords to remember. But it's amazing for those who are gifted that when they just learn an instrument, they can play it right away, no? Nakakatuwa. I-share
Nakakainggit.
ko lang.
Nakakainggit. But
Nakakainggit.
there's always time for that.
Oh, pinag-uusapan natin yan. There's
Di ba?
no year anymore, right? Di
Yes,
ba yung
there's no
first question?
expiry date with regards to art or how you present your art. May Dulce adds, Angelo is smiling from heaven. Gregory says, love you, Tita Joe from Gucci, Lorenzana. I believe Gucci was also part of the Mello family at one time, but this
Yes,
was
yes.
way, way before I came in. So, yeah. Nice to meet you, Gucci. You also say that one must have a certain level of empathy to write about other people's experiences, much less put it into song or create a musical narrative out of this. In this day and age of social media, of like and subscribe buttons, internet metrics, how important is it for an artist to not lose empathy in the middle of the hustle and bustle of it all?
Oh, how are you? I think for any human being, I would say, especially in the pandemic, it's impossible to even lose empathy because you see it all over. I wrote a song. I know it's going to figure somehow in my near future.
Next
Uh,
single, next single, next single.
Next single, amen. Yeah, hopefully. And I wrote it for the pandemic, really thinking of,
Oh,
I wish
great.
I had the lyrics, but the title is Hope for Another Day.
Hope for
And
another day.
ay, hindi ko kasi maalala. Yan yung mga one of the songs na ano, kinompose mo sa ano, sa cellphone. So it's not automatic, but I'm going to really go back to it because I wrote it really not just, I mean, of course the frontliners kasama, but it's actually observing the people
Hmm.
who are in the pandemic, like, somebody who's sad because they lost somebody, lost someone who's struggling because they cannot go face to face, the frontliners. So it's speaking about the things that you are already observing in the pandemic. I think it's very hard. We're all experiencing that, being isolated and all. I don't mind sharing it. I suffer a little bit from anxiety also. So imagine
Yeah, we all did.
we
We
all,
all
right?
did. We all
So
did.
I mean, it's a new normal where we had to navigate, 'di ba? And then we had to create everything in the house. We had to work. And I mean, although kami ng husband ko, we really been working from home, but it's a lot of the other things that you have to do. You have to had to make adjustments. And then there's a lot of people also who lost jobs, who lost a lot of things. So I think it's this particular time is probably the easiest to be a human being. It's
Yeah,
because you're going to observe. I mean, it's incredible if you cannot even observe one single thing because when you look to your left and to your right, when you step out the door, you're going to see it right away, diba? Right before your eyes.
I
So
agree. I agree.
it's God really there's a reason for all of this. It's a way to really look inside, and see. Oh, parang magandang song yun, no? Magandang title.
Uh,
Take a
Pwede,
look
pwede.
inside. Take a look. Parang
Sige,
may kanta na, di ba?
third single na, third single na. Claim it, claim it. Then the universe will give it to you.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, take a look inside.
Yun.
Di ba merong
Anong
kanta?
word of,
Merong, take a look. Teka, parang
yeah.
may pumapasok sa aking 80s na song na,
David Benoit, Take a Look Inside My Heart.
oh my God, that's it. Yun ang pumapasok sa akin. Take a look inside my heart. Di ba, jazz na naman nun ako.
Yun, dyan, balik tayo dyan.
Balik tayo.
Any word of advice for upcoming singers and songwriters? Yan.
Wow, advice for singers and songwriters. Okay, well, as songwriter part, I'm sure they all have their experiences to draw from. So just be honest with your lyrics and be honest with your expression. So I think that's the most important thing because when you put out a song, it's always a piece of you. Even if, for example, you're taking from a
I
story
love
of some, di ba?
piece of you. Yeah,
It's
a
always a
song.
piece of you. And even if you're taking the song from somebody else's story, there is always a portion of that story that you can identify with. So, because you will be able to write it, but it has to also come, di ba, may part, even if, kunwari, like you're talking about empathy, even if you're just empathizing dun sa sakit na nararamdaman ng tao, you will be able to write it because you can identify with it on some form. And then as for the new singers, um, there's always a part where we believe in what is going to happen and we do our part. I was just sharing with two friends in the faith. Brother Mark Aranal. Hello, ewan ko po kung nanonood kayo. I messaged you kanina, but he has this online show called Marky Talk 101, and I'm so glad that he's also part of 700 Club Asia. He's I think the main director, or one of the direct. I think he's the main director of 700 Club Asia. And then one of the pastors who interviewed me last Sunday here, Pastor Ruel Tica, also has his show Quarantine. Pasensya na kasi maraming kailangan ko i-plug yung mga show nila.
Go, go,
And
go.
because people, can learn and will be inspired. And we're just naku, ayan na naman, nag-senior moment ako. What are we talking about? But I'm sorry, the singers. Okay, going back.
Yes, the
Pasensya na
singers.
po kayo. The singers. So, when you're in our industry, it's very easy to believe your own publicity. It's very easy to believe your own publicity, to believe even the group, that is around you. But because maybe of our recent experience, it's like the Lord's message is always, you always have to take a step back. So you take one step forward, take two steps back. You're taking two steps forward, you have to take two steps back. Even
Right.
I will be very honest with you, Cass, even in the middle of the promotion of this song, my husband is still recovering. Able to walk already, which is, great and wonderful also for, for our hospital and the physical therapy group, department is helping him. But number one is because the Lord is helping him, helping us in our journey. So this is by far, I maybe the second, I would say, at par with Kung Alam Mo Lang. Naku, merong
Mhm.
history ang Kung Alam Mo Lang. Kasi may history yung share ko ng konti, ano ba 'yan? But anyway, yung bang it's the hardest song to promote because that's why we had to promote it on Valentine's Day. It was my husband who suggested, "Why don't we upload already the video? Kahit man lang at least on Valentine's kasi it's also your birthday." But it
Mhm.
was hardest for me because I always feel like I'm going to go forward and I have to move back. Yes, yes, you're being an artist and there are doors opening right now and you're grateful because the Lord is the one showing you these doors, and no any door that he opens nobody can shut. So it's opening. But at the same time you're aware of what's going on in your life. So I think for new artists, um it's good to, we set our eyes on, "Oh, ano kaya mangyayari sa atin when I enter the industry?" I think the best is to always be in step, where you are. Kasi paano kung hindi mangyari yung inaasahan, 'di ba? Paano kung hindi
Mhm.
mangyari yung inaasahan, 'di ba? It would be difficult. So, faith has to get in there, definitely. Your family has to get in there, but make sure always that, it's like you have to be grounded. You're there. You're centered and you know what your purpose is. I have
Right.
my music, I have my talent, but if it goes before you and you search and you search and you push and you try to do everything that you can do, baka ma-disappoint ka, 'di ba? So I don't want you to get disappointed because when your art is special and when your art is real, it's going to do its part. People are going to listen, people are going to pick it up, people are going to support you. You
People
will
will
be surprised
respond.
with the Yes, they will respond. The network is going to happen. And then of course, even, connections and friendships, you're going to be amazed how it's going to start to grow. So I think start with it from the very basic where since I love my art, I'm going to share my art. I love my art, I'm going to share my art. And then I'm going to let everything happen. I'm going to do my part, There are people who are going to help me do my part in support of my art, but leave the room for the Lord, and leave for the room for the divine to work in your art, and then you're just going to be surprised. That's I'm speaking from a personal experience. That's what happened to me in my own career. It just unfolded, and you know right away, because he charted it. You cannot claim it for yourself and say, gawa ko, magaling ako. No, it brings you right away to a place where of your humanity. I mean, even the desire disappears. Like when I left in 2000, I was telling you, right? My desire left. I got really exhausted. I didn't finish that movie because at the time I had to turn away from the industry that I love. So even the desire can be taken away from you. So it has to be aligned. It has to be aligned with God. It has to be aligned with things to do. You alam niyo na yun? Alam niyo na yun, kahit mga bata kayo, ang mga bata ngayon are so different right now. They're so talented, they're so smart. They have everything, at tip of their fingertips.
Yeah, everything is within their reach. So madaling gawin, madaling abutin. It's just really the frame of mind. If kung gugustuhin mo, if there is a will, there will always be a way. So
Yes.
yun talaga ang punot dulo when you think about it.
Know where to
Uh,
stay, but remember, keep your feet there and
yes.
let let just things happen. You're doing your part. Let things happen so that you're protected from disappointment. You're protected from frustration. You're
Mm-hmm.
protected from obsession. Ako, lalo na yung obsession, mahirap yan.
Oh, mahirap
Diba,
yun.
rhyme lahat, no? Pero totoo, frustration and I mean disappointment, hindi rhyme but connected. But frustration and obsession, kasi it's very easy to be obsessed, na I want to do this, I want to do this. No, it's if it's really planted for you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Sometimes ang ginagawa ni Lord, kunwari, yung experience namin sa song, oh, exciting, ito na, we're going to do this. Oh, He stopped us on our tracks. You have to focus here. You didn't even know what was going to happen in your life. So, who matters now? Who matters and what matters? Is it this or this? So everything has to be clear in your path. We're all learning. I mean, I'm just sharing this with you from experience, Cass, but we're all imperfect. I mean, we need we need advice from people. We need advice from people who are older than us, from people of faith who can advise us. So and much more, of course, the Lord. We need that. We're never ending in learning. We're never ending. So
I agree. I
if
agree. I agree. Yeah, technology-wise, we're all learning. Ito, itong ginagawa natin, with StreamYard and Zoom and all that, we're all learning. We didn't used to do this before back in the 80s, but now we have to.
we have
Yeah. So where can they find you on social media if in case people want to connect with you on social media?
Oh, I'm on FB, naks FB. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Yung pala ho, some friends are encouraging me to get into Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Pag-aaralan po, somewhere down the road po, papasok na rin po ako ng Instagram. But now,
Sige.
I just have Facebook. It's more,
Aantayin ko yan. I will wait
Ay,
for that and I
Instagram.
will hit you up on Instagram
Ako,
and kukulitin
kailangan
kita. Sabihin ko,
pag-aralan.
nasaan yung mga plano nating plaka na ipuput up natin, ipagyayabang at ipagbibito natin that we still have a copy of this.
Are you serious? Papakita natin yung mga ano?
Yeah,
Oh my
why
God.
not? You were
We were
showing me
talking
this
about
earlier
this is
before the interview
interview.
officially began. But sige, let's share it. And just tabi mo
Oh, sige, teka. Alam mo, up to now,
before we wrap
nag-aalala
this up.
ay,
Yan.
ayun. So this is my first CD. And this came out as an LP pa nga, 'di ba? LP pa yung tawag siya, vinyl na ngayon, 'di ba?
Long
Vinyl,
playing album. That's why it's
long playing
LP.
album. And this is my first. This is the one with Vicor. So after this, now nilagay ko lang to sa CD kasi ni-record na namin, tinransfer na namin. But actually, these are the ones from, Oy, Jenny, alam mo to, of course, magkakasama tayo dito. These are the Octo Arts album. So this one is actually a cassette. Ay, ito pala yung nauna. This is also an LP and then a cassette. Hindi na to umabot ng CD. So stronger than before. I was with Octo Arts already. Ayan, and had songs. Believe it or not, naalala mo yan. Naku, disco pa nga ako dito. I have my songs, Hoy Pakibilisan, Pigil na Pigil, Good Times, Bad Times, Daydreaming. So these are kind of like upbeat songs. This was with Octo Art. Then
May
the
pang Donna Summer ka.
wala tayong choice, kailangan mo promote. So, syempre, promote ka, nagsasayaw ka rin. And then, kailan pa man, so I started going back to mellow ulit, mga mellow. So, I had songs, ano ba yung mga songs ko dito? Nais ko, wala yung nais ko, kailan pa man, and and then, of course, Good Times, Bad Times is, Good Times, Bad Times is also here, which is also an upbeat song. And then, the greatest hits that came out with Octo Arts also. Nakabalot pa. Collector's item. Kasi,
Oo.
so,
Alagaan ng mabuti yan.
I so ito yung last ko with Octo Arts. This was released 1994, 1995, I think. And then, ang tagal. So, the next album we released is already 2009 in the US, and then 2010. This was distributed by Universal Records. It was called Between Seasons. And this is when I started collaborating with Jimmy Borja. And then, of course, si Jimmy Antiporta kasi batch sa 80s, di ba? I always ask some songs to be arranged by Jimmy Antiborda because he's really one of our modern day master arrangers. Of course, and all the other wonderful arrangers.
I agree. Jimmy is a brilliant arranger, and music really is in his veins. Jimmy Antiporda, hello.
I hope you're watching kasi baka nakakagat mo na yung dila mo. Talking about
where can they listen to My Everyday Valentine if they want to listen to that? I assume it's on Spotify.
Yes, we're very, very grateful. It's already Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes,
Hmm.
Amazon Music, and then I think it was just last night we found out it's also on being played on iHeartRadio in the
Oh,
US.
okay.
So ayun, we can access it
Radio.
anywhere. MediaNet, yung iba yung like wherever. I think it's starting to flow already like the other platforms, but definitely Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music. And then you can also go to ang pangalan ho ng Facebook page ko is Joanne Lorenzana plus friends. Para kasi minsan we're featuring other friends also there. And then my YouTube channel is just Joanne Lorenzana channel. I just put it there. Music, live, and more. Kasi wala pa akong content. Alam mo yung ilang videos ang nandun. Sabi ko, maybe later on, we're
Okay
going
lang yan.
to
Okay lang yan. We start somewhere. Unti-unti.
time.
Thank you so much, Joanne. This has been a really fun interview. Alam mo, kung tumagal pa tayo ng isang oras, pwede ka. I think kaya pa rin natin. But, we always say save some for next time. Para at least when you come back and talk to us again, you have a new song. You probably may have a new endeavor. And we wish you well. Whatever plans that you may have for you and your family and for your loved ones itong 2021, claim and manifest. It is
Oh,
yours.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also for you, Kaz. Also for
Thank
you,
you.
Kaz.
Thank you.
I know, you're also an artist, so I also wish you the best. You're going to be included in my prayers. And can I just make a few shout out also? I mean, I've
Go ahead.
already mentioned about the album, Jimmy Antiport, of course, and Jimmy Borja, who's my collaborator on the song. Jenny Zagalo. We have a lot of unsung heroes. I have a fan friend who has been helping me out so much with my fan videos. Edson, hello. Thank you so much, Eds Paras. He's always like working with me. I have a group called Throwback Sisters who have been with have
I
been with
like that name, Throwback Sisters.
have been with us ever since the 80s. Maraming salamat because they're always there. My care group here in the US, our Saturday Bible study group. Hello, all our other friends and family. Who's helping us. Of course, my husband. Our label is Neomon Production, so that's through our label. And if I missed anybody, you know who you are. Babawiin ko po sa social media. Thank even also some industry friends who have been very helpful. I just wanna mention their names. Um, because of their advice, I'm speaking of Carlo Rosa and Odi Hemora and Ringo Marquez. May grupo kami.
Yeah, Ringo Marquez. I haven't heard that name in
Parang
a
alam
long
mo
time.
lahat. Meron kaming pang 90s group na I should be more active actually. Andyan si Jake Macapagal. Kelly Villavicencio, Luna Inosian. Yan meron kami group yan, but it's part of a larger group. I'm an honorary member of Trumpets. I want to say hello to them and grateful for also all the things that they're putting out on the net because it's really essential, especially for our hearts. All other friends, parang naiisip ko lahat ng pangalan. Judith Banal, hello. Kasi meron din kami every time I go visit sa Philippines, yan, si Jamie Rivera, hello. Alam ko, hindi na tayo nakakapag-usap masyado. Lynn Palma, hello. Fede Ventura, Ana Kaluwag. Minention ko na lahat ng mga kaibigan ko. But all the others who have figured in my story, including even my in-laws, the Blower family, Lorenzanas and Sunicos, thank you so much. I'm sharing this, cast. I'm taking this opportunity because they have all helped in our story. I know all of you have your own stories and just connect with the people who can really um, help you out, especially at this time. In the pandemic, we have to establish those connections that could really help us. Oh, I almost forgot. My cousin Craig Abea, who's probably listening right now, his creative inputs have been so helpful in the album, yung sa single. He was the one who was saying, I was telling him because of what was going on. I said, how am I going to kind of connect um the story or the message that every day should be Valentine's Day. And he was telling me that what I could when I'm hearing the song, when I'm thinking about the song, what I could see is a calendar and there are hearts spread out sa calendar kasi you're creating these memories throughout the year, di ba? So there are those special moments throughout the year na nangyayari, which actually is like, we can connect it to Valentine's Day because they're very special. So yun ang in-intertwine namin dun sa cover ng single. Kaya meron
Awesome.
parang heart na gumagano from
Kaya
January.
maraming hearts.
Yes, maraming hearts. Tas may April, may December, may ganun. Because every day, there are moments, there are days especially in this year, you're gonna see that are going to be really, really special.
All
Thank
right.
you, Kaz.
Thank you so much, Ms. Joanne Lorenzana. You can always come back again. Usap-usap tayo. And of course, we can always email and all that, social media. And thank you everyone thank you everyone for joining us today. This has been Cash for On the Spot 947. Till the next edition, we shall be on the lookout for the next artist that we will be putting on the spot. Keep it right here, all hits. Mellow 94.7 sounds good. Bye, everybody. Thank you.